It's Monday, the 14th of July 2025. Welcome to the 89th edition of the Entrepreneur series. In today's series we will take a look at Chief Olatunde Abudu, an industrial titan of Abeokuta and his enduring legacy. Before we get started, we would like to take a moment to welcome you to this channel. If you are visiting us for the first time, please subscribe, smash the like button, share this video and help us grow our family. If you have already subscribed, then show your support by liking the video and making a comment. Now let's jump right in. Introduction. Chief Olatunde Abudu, 1929 to 2025, was a distinguished Nigerian lawyer, businessman, philanthropist, and elder statesman, widely celebrated as one of the most successful industrialists in Abeokuta, Ogun State. His remarkable career spanned the colonial era, Nigeria's post-independence boom, the oil economy surge, and into the 21st century. Chief Abudu built a legacy not only of wealth and enterprise but also of mentorship, philanthropy, and principled leadership. This series provides an in-depth analysis of his industrial trajectory, the strategic principles that defined his success, his philanthropic footprint, and the vital lessons he leaves behind for young professionals and aspiring industrialists. The industrial giant who built Abeokuta's future. In the history of Nigeria's post-independence industrialization, few names evoke admiration and lasting respect like Chief Olatunde Abudu. A trained lawyer, visionary entrepreneur, philanthropist, and elder statesman, Chief Abudu was more than a businessman, he was a builder of institutions, communities, and legacies. For the people of Abeokuta, the capital of Ogun State, he remains the towering figure who put the city on Nigeria's industrial map. Chief Abudu didn't just build factories, he built lives, mentored minds, and redefined what it meant to be a responsible elite. His story offers rich insights and inspiration for young professionals, emerging entrepreneurs, and all who believe in the power of vision, values, and hard work. From Egba roots to global thinking. Born in 1929 in Abeokuta, into the respected Egba community, Olatunde Abudu was steeped in a culture that valued learning, honor, and leadership. He attended the prestigious Abeokuta Grammar School, a crucible for many Nigerian leaders that produced other notable figures like Reverend Israel Ransome-Kuti. This formative environment sharpened his intellect and leadership instincts early on. Following his secondary education, Chief Abudu journeyed to the United Kingdom to study law. He returned in the early 1960s with more than a legal qualification. He came back with a global mindset and an unshakable commitment to building his country. His time abroad exposed him to Western business structures, ethics, and governance systems that would later form the bedrock of his entrepreneurial empire.
Becoming Abeokuta's industrial powerhouse. What made Chief Olatunde Abudu different from his peers wasn't just ambition, it was foresight. While others pursued short-term profits or political appointments, he built businesses that would outlast him. His entry into industry came at a time when indigenous entrepreneurship was still in its infancy. With colonial-era structures still dominant, Nigerian entrepreneurs had to be both bold and strategic to succeed. Diversification and early entry into emerging markets. Chief Abudu's business strategy was marked by a keen eye for emerging industries and the consistent application of Western best practices in finance, governance, and human capital. His early foray into the construction and manufacturing sectors in the 1960s coincided with Nigeria's infrastructure expansion after independence. He was among the first indigenous entrepreneurs in Ogun State to see the long-term value of industrialization as a tool for economic liberation. Strategic sector selection. Chief Abudu invested in construction during Nigeria's infrastructure boom in the 1960s and 70s. Real estate, particularly in Ogun and Lagos, creating commercial and residential properties that have stood the test of time. Agribusiness, particularly in cash crops and processing, leveraging Ogun State's vast arable land for crop cultivation and food processing. General trading, providing imported goods and machinery to new industries. He deliberately positioned his investments in sectors with long-term demand and strong backward linkages, sectors that created jobs, local supply chains, and value addition. Smart capital and ethical structure. One hallmark of Abudu's approach was his refusal to cut corners. He didn't build his empire through political favoritism or reckless borrowing. Instead, he reinvested profits, structured his businesses with boards of directors, and introduced internal auditing systems even when they weren't common practice in Nigeria. His ethical standards, contractual discipline, and commitment to transparency made him a preferred business partner, especially for foreign companies looking for reliable indigenous collaborators. The Abudu playbook, what made him different? In a country where many businesses fail within a generation, what set Chief Abudu apart? His success was no accident, it followed a clear and repeatable formula. Institutional thinking. Chief Abudu didn't build personality cults. He built institutions. His companies had succession plans, management training, and governance structures. He understood that a business must outlive its founder to truly make a difference. This was particularly evident in how he structured his company's leadership and financial systems, introducing boardroom discipline and checks long before corporate governance became trendy.
Strategic patience. He was not in a rush. Abudu believed in compound impact, investing steadily over time, consolidating operations, and building for the long haul. This contrasted sharply with the speculative mindset that dominated many sectors during the oil boom. Deep community roots. Perhaps most notably, he didn't abandon his roots. While his business interests extended to Lagos and beyond, Abeokuta remained his base. He built factories, homes, schools, and health centers there. His success was shared, visible, and celebrated by his people. This community-first orientation gave him goodwill, loyalty, and a lasting sense of purpose. Strategic partnerships and ethical governance. Abudu's industrial playbook was anchored in prudent capital management. He reinvested profits rather than relying heavily on debt. Strategic partnerships. He worked closely with other Yoruba business elites and maintained ties with expatriate firms for technology and machinery sourcing. Professional corporate governance. He insisted on formal structures in his companies, including annual audits, boards of directors, and trained managers. This approach shielded his enterprises from many of the pitfalls that destroyed other indigenous businesses during the 1980 structural adjustment era. Philanthropy, giving back, the Abudu way. Chief Abudu's philanthropy was not performative, it was planned, passionate, and practical. He saw wealth as a trust, not a trophy. Education as the bedrock. He made some of his biggest philanthropic investments in education. His alma mater, Abeokuta Grammar School, benefited immensely through infrastructure upgrades, science lab renovations, and scholarship funds. He was also a major donor and board member at Babcock University, where he championed educational reforms, faculty development, and student welfare. To him, investing in education was not charity, it was nation-building. Faith, culture, and harmony. As a devout Muslim, Chief Abudu funded the construction and refurbishment of many mosques, and also he played an active leadership role in the Nigerian Baptist Convention. But he didn't stop at religious charity, he also promoted Yoruba cultural heritage, sponsoring festivals, arts programs, and cultural documentation efforts. This dual commitment to faith and culture gave him a unique ability to bridge the past and the future, strengthening the moral and cultural fabric of his society. Health and social welfare. In his later years, Chief Abudu turned his attention to public health and elderly care. He funded mobile clinics, partnered with NGOs for rural outreach programs, and supported the development of healthcare centers across Ogun State. For him, true prosperity meant shared well-being.
Leadership by example, a legacy of integrity. Chief Abudu's leadership style was defined by quiet strength, clarity of vision, and deep empathy. He wasn't the loudest in the room, but he was always the most respected. His punctuality, work ethic, and transparency made him a role model across sectors. Colleagues and mentor frequently mention how he led through action, never asking others to do what he wouldn't do himself. He mentored countless professionals, often meeting young lawyers, engineers, and business students privately to offer guidance and opportunity. Several of today's successful entrepreneurs and public servants in Ogun and Lagos trace their growth to his mentorship and encouragement. Lessons for the next generation. In a fast-paced world dominated by social media flash and speculative hype, Chief Abudu's legacy offers refreshing clarity. Build on values. Your character is your first capital. Structure matters. Informality kills longevity. Formalize your operations early. Invest in people. The more people you uplift, the stronger your network. Go local, think global. Start from your community, but operate with a world-class mindset. Wealth is a trust. Share it. Use it. Multiply it for others. These are not just life tips. They are tested principles from a life that delivered tangible, lasting results. Conclusion: a beacon for a better Nigeria. Chief Olatunde Abudu lived a life of purpose, principle, and quiet power. At a time when Nigeria desperately needs models of ethical leadership, sustainable entrepreneurship, and inclusive wealth creation, his story shines ever more brightly. He didn't just succeed, he built. He didn't just give, he empowered. He didn't just live, he led. As Nigeria looks to raise a new generation of builders, thinkers, and dreamers, we must not only celebrate Chief Abudu's legacy, we must live it. Are you a young professional or entrepreneur trying to build a meaningful career or business in Nigeria? What part of Chief Abudu's legacy speaks to you the most? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to share this story with someone who needs a dose of real-life inspiration. If you would like to know more, or wish to discuss brand sponsorship of any of our videos on entrepreneurship, please get in touch on any of the social media handles below. All our content is developed from real-life experiences in a professional and entrepreneurial journey that spans across 8 countries and 4 decades. Quote of the week: success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill.